Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of SimRail. Yes, today we are going to be driving some TRAXX locomotive. And I will be somewhat learning how to drive it. So as you can see, I now just joined the server. Hopefully you can see, you can hear and see that. Let me just move the camera away. That's loud. That is very loud. Oh dear, that was probably a mistake on my part. Okay, anyway, chat. We are here. You can probably hear this locomotive. It's already driving. I will just let AI drive for now. Yes, today we will practice operating and driving TRAXX locomotive, which is present in the game. And some of the players are probably struggling with operating this particular unit, mostly because some of the switches work in a very weird way, and obviously you need to get used to how they are working, otherwise it will be a massive pain to just drive this locomotive, even though I think it's one of the easiest, well, it's probably the easiest one to drive, to be honest. Like, even Pendolino is not as easy to drive as this thing, honestly. Like, it's very simple. It is honestly very, very, very simple. But all the switches and all those levers that you have in the cabin makes it a little bit more difficult than it should be. Right, let's see, who do we have here? Kachan-chan, hello, welcome to the stream. Railjet, hello, hello. Tomek, hello. Jessica Tim, Bravura, hello, hello. Welcome. Wow, so many people already. For me, it's very simple. It's TRAXX. Yes, of course, it is TRAXX. It will probably work exactly the same as the German one. So I don't blame you. You probably learn on the real thing, which is even more fun than driving the one that I will be driving today. Right. Oh, ET25 is the best. Well, ET25 is fun to drive, indeed. I've driven it the other day, and I will definitely be making a video about it when I get some more time, or, well, video. I'll probably make another stream about learning the ropes, similar to this one, if it kicks out. Lucina Dudek, the game is no longer free. You have to pay for it. So as far as I know, you have to pay that 27 pounds. I think the promotion ends somewhere today. But it's not the most expensive game ever, honestly. If you compare it to other products on the market, SimRail is quite cheap. It's really cheap game for what content it delivers, and obviously for how much content you get. 26 pounds, or I can't remember how much Polish zloty it was. It was around 130, 140 Polish zloty. So it's not too bad, honestly. Yes, it is expensive, don't get me wrong. If you look at it from the perspective that, yes, it is something that gives you leisure and it's not necessarily needed for life, then yes, it might be considered expensive. But hey, games are luxury goods, isn't it? It's some sort of like an art or entertainment. So unfortunately, yeah, that it is what it is. It's that small luxury that you are paying for. How much the Simbus will be, I don't know, honestly. I'm not sitting in a Simbus community. I don't really know when this game will be released. Anyway, chat, without any further ado, I believe it would be appropriate to hop into this locomotive and take control over it, isn't it? There we go. That's the button. Okay, so here we are in the cabin of this locomotive. So before I will take control from the AI, is there anything that I would like to talk about? Well, if you want to learn how to start this locomotive from cold start, there is a tutorial in the game, and it's worth doing it. It takes, well, the part of starting the locomotive takes about 10 minutes. So just to quickly recap it, after you get into locomotive, you have to find this switch and move it from battery isolated position to activate the cabin. You can set the lights using this switch. Obviously I can't switch it right now because AI is controlling the train. These two buttons will operate spring brake, so it's like a parking brake. I believe these buttons do absolutely nothing right now, if I remember correctly, so don't worry about them. It's just the placeholders that are in the locomotive, and that's why they are modeled, but they won't do anything in the game. Right, let's sit down. So as you can see, we got 4 main levers in front of us in this cabin. So starting from the leftmost, this one is used to operate cruise control, which we will be using today. This one is a drive handle, and it's basically used to apply power or operate electrodynamic brake. Yes, so that is the brakes that are supposed to slow down the locomotives on descent, for example. It's not intended to stop it, but it's good for slowing down the descent, and this way you have a little bit better control over your speed. This lever operates a train brake, so all those brakes that affect your wagons as well, and applies brakes across the entire train, that's the lever to operate it. You can release it and you can apply the brakes here. And finally you got locomotive or local brake on this lever, and obviously that operates only air brakes in the locomotive. Bonkle is better. Well, everyone has its own taste. I've seen some of his content, and yes, he's definitely very entertaining chap. And he also streams on YouTube, from what I've seen. He's got really good content. Right, anyway, chat, I believe it's time for me to take control from the AI, isn't it? Let's just make sure that I know what is the current speed limit. And we are now approaching Sławków, and I believe the speed limit here was 50. Was it? I think it was somewhere around that. Can I do RP1? Yes, I can, but AI just did one, so why would I? Right, anyway, let me take the control over. Perfect, the radio is on, alerter is now reset. And we are traveling a bit fast. Let's slow down. Okay, so there we go. That's our RP1. And where am I? Sławków. We are not stopping here. Let's release the brakes. We are safely doing 45. Oh, there we go. That's going to be another RP1. Right, I'm not quite sure what's the speed limit here. So I will continue at around 40 kilometers per hour. And now here's the first thing. We need to learn how to operate cruise control. And it's very, very simple. There are 2 buttons for it. And that's minus and equals on your keyboard. and it operates this lever. So by default it's set to cruise control is disabled, and that's correct. If we try to increase it once with a single press of the button, it will switch to maintain cruise control speed. And now, if we press and hold the button, we will start setting the cruise control target. First, let's slow down a bit. I want to make sure that the train won't go over the speed limit. I know we passed 120 earlier on, but there's also a limit that we just left. So I believe that was for 50. Right, anyway, let's carry on with the cruise control. So in order to set it, right now when it's set to maintain cruise control, if we press equals once again and hold it, you will notice that yellow notch to appear on the speedometer, and that's the target speed that we are setting for the cruise control. And we can set it up or down. So providing that this train is limited to 80 kilometers per hour, I would like to set the cruise control for 80. Although I believe in Germany they set like 5 kilometers below the speed limit, just to allow for some discrepancies between measurements to be included as well, so that train driver knows that definitely he won't be going over the speed limit. But for the game purpose, I'm quite sure that the locomotive will more or less keep that 80 kilometers per hour, and we can set it to 80. If we start going over the speed limit, then I will lower it by 5 or 10 kilometers per hour to allow for electrodynamic brake to do its job. Right, anyway, so now that we have set the target, it's already approved by the system, and the computer won't let me go over 80 kilometers per hour. Right, so now the next step is to operate the drive handle. I need to set it to maintain power, and then I can increase the power and set the level at which the train can operate with the power and electrodynamic brake. I can push it all the way to the top, but it is very likely that the computer won't be able to prevent wheel slip. So I always do it manually, set it at specified level, and the train won't go over it. Another way of doing it is to just push the lever all the way to maximum power, and then the train will be able to use full scale, both for applying power and speeding up, or decreasing the speed by using electrodynamic brake. Right, and that's basically it. That's all the inputs that I have to do as a driver. Most of the job in this train will be done automatically by the cruise control. There's not much else that I have to do. Well, I don't know if they are that much delayed, honestly. It's, as I said at the beginning of the video, in my opinion, it's the easiest locomotive to drive in the game. Honestly, you don't really have to do anything. Like, as long as you set up cruise control correctly, as long as you set up your power correctly, then all you have to do is to reset the alerter every minute, reset SHP every time you approach the signal, use the horn at the right times, and eventually operate brakes, and that's it. So right now it's basically input free. I'm not doing anything. The locomotive is keeping the right speed. I don't really have to drive it. That's the fun part of it. It's very easy, especially when you want to learn the route. it's very useful, because as long as you set it correctly, you can focus on observing the road, and it's less likely that you will miss any signs and signals. So it's really nice. It's really nice locomotive to drive, as long as you can get over with weird operation of those levers. It's perfectly fine. Right, let's reset the power handle. Let's start applying the brakes. So for the brakes, I will explain that in a second. Let me first slow down as we are approaching stop signal. Are we? Well, I still can't see the signal correctly. Oh, I think the signal changed. Yeah, I think it's green now. There we go. Come on, come on. Brakes are still releasing. Oh dear lord. The brakes are really slow in this locomotive. There we go. Perfect. Green light, we can carry on. Right, so when it comes to the brakes, I haven't really explained how this lever works. So by default you keep it in driving position, which means that all the brakes are released. Now when you want to apply it, there is a trick to it, because if you just press the button on your keyboard to apply the brakes, it will just do this and nothing will happen, because the lever effectively jumps to decrease brake force, which is not the place where you want it to jump, and you are effectively releasing the brakes now. So you first have to release the button and let the lever jump into maintain brake force, and from now you can operate the brakes as they should work. So now when you press a button on your keyboard to increase the brake force, the lever will start increasing the brake force. And as you can see, the arrow on this gauge moved. So when we start increasing, we are moving that white arrow lower and lower down to 3.5 bars. And that's the target pressure in a brake pipe. And obviously red arrow will follow as the pressure normalizes in the brake pipe. Obviously the more pressure you will release, the harder you will brake. And if you don't want to stop the train, you need to allow for the pressure to normalize. So if I will now release the brakes, as you can see, the white arrow will go quite quickly to 5 bar, but the red arrow will very slowly follow, and it will take a long time for the brakes to actually release. On top of that, that is also affecting a locomotive brake. So now we have to wait for the brakes to release before we can carry on. And the last thing, if we want to release the brakes a little bit quicker, we can move it to high flow charge. So that is button 9 on your numerical keyboard. If you press and hold it, we can slightly speed up the process of releasing the brakes. The Reborn Noob, hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today. And yes, that is me. That is me. Right. If you release the button, the lever will automatically come back to driving position, so you don't really have to press anything else. Right, so that's the brakes. Let's now apply some power again. And now we have to wait for this train to get back to proper speed. There we go. Oops, I think it's our fault that this guy has to stop. Okay, for a second I thought we will have a red light, but no, it's green. We can carry on, chat. We can carry on. Okay, so the speed limit will change to 100 kilometers per hour. Just a tiny bit more, so that we can allow entire train to enter the new speed limit. And I think that will be good. We can now speed up all the way to 80 kilometers per hour, because it's a freight train and this one is actually limited to that. Even if the track speed limit is higher than 80, this train just can't go quicker because of... I can't remember if the wagons have that speed as maximum. I think they are limited to 100, but it's because of the weight of the train in that case. Sadly, developers don't really put such information anywhere, so I don't really know what's the total mass of this train and what's the total length of this train, which would be very useful information, to be honest. There we go. I think I set it a little bit too high. There we go. Much better. So now we can chill out. We are 20 minutes ahead of time. But I believe that will quickly change. I think around Jaroszowiec Olkuski, AI usually stops this train for a short period of time to allow some passenger trains to overtake me. So that's what AI usually does on this route. However, that might change. It's not set in stone what will happen. I might be sent further, or I might be stopped at Olkusz. Mr. Google, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today learning what ropes. Well, I'm practicing the driving with TRAXX, so obviously I'm learning new things every day, and that's what it refers to. There we go, another railway crossing. By the way, I heard they are about to release a new patch somewhere tomorrow, so they will fix few issues with railway crossings on this line in particular. Is it just me, or are speed signs too bright and I can't see them? Well, one of the things with that game is that during summertime, when you got clear weather, it is really bright indeed, and in many cases, yes, the signs feel a little bit too bright during daytime. It gets a little bit better when the sun starts to set, because obviously it gets a bit darker, and I think the game looks best in the evening or in the morning, because it's not too bright, it's not too dark, it's perfect. And thank you very much for follow, come back quick. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the community. I hope you will enjoy your stay. ET25 is trash. ET25 is not trash. It's a really nice locomotive. Although, yes, it feels weird right now. And I have a feeling that it's not finished yet. I think developers need to work on it a little bit. Because there are a few things that doesn't really work well in ET25. And I don't think it's this kind of design choices. There are a few things that work really bad in ET25, but when it comes to how easy it is to drive, it's probably second easiest locomotive in the game, right after TRAXX, obviously. Many things works pretty much the same, and it's very, very simple to drive. Oh really? That's really nice. That's really nice. To be honest, I wasn't following Run 8 in a while, mostly because I don't really have time to follow all the games I play. Like, seriously, chat, it's... it takes ages to follow everything. Like, it's absolutely impossible for me at this point to follow all the news from all the games. I'm definitely looking forward to get back to run 8 at some point. But obviously it will take a while before I wrap everything around and I find some extra time to get back to run 8. Make some review of the controls and stuff, because obviously run 8 has its own specific controls, and it's very, very difficult and deep game in that sense. So I definitely need some practice again to learn how to drive again. Oh dear lord, I am now speeding, I believe. Am I? Oh, I might have actually slowed down to 70 in the right moment. Cargo trains have planned stops, but you don't really have to follow them in a Polish railways, so it's not that there are no stops as a freight train. You don't stop if you don't have to, so dispatchers won't have to stop you, because the only stops for a freight train is when the train is being picked up, loaded or unloaded, and when you drop off your train at the final destination. So there's absolutely no need to stop anywhere else, and therefore no stops are being planned. But timetable still includes few places where it is recommended to stop the train for a technical stop, and those are planned so that the train can safely stop on a siding and it can wait for correct departure time, but that is used only when it's needed. And this game also has planned stops for cargo. I passed through one of them like 10-20 minutes ago, but unfortunately we weren't stopped there. That's why I'm 25 minutes ahead of time. But that will quickly change, because I'm approaching Jaroszowiec, where there is a high chance I'm gonna be stopped. It all depends if there are any passenger trains following me that will need to overtake me at the next stop. There we go. Nice sound signal. It doesn't seem like I'm gonna be stopped at Jaroszowiec. Maybe at Krząstowice. We'll see, chat, we'll see. I can't see the map, so I don't know if there are any trains following me. Well, who knows, maybe at some point there will be some other units like EN57 and EN71. Obviously they are used on some of the routes. I'm not sure if you can find them on any of the routes available in the game. I think so, but I might be wrong here. You can definitely still find them around Katowice. You can find them around Warsaw, but you won't find them in that main route because they are just too slow. So they should be modeled at some point. But obviously that takes time, and the choices were made to model the locomotives and units that are in the game. And it's still pretty good, because there are not too many games, well, yeah, there are not too many games that actually feature ED250, so this is a new thing to actually introduce into simulators, especially about Polish railways. Dragon, I think you can find it in Maszyna, but I've never actually driven Dragon in Maszyna. Can't remember EN7, well, EN76 ELF, I think it's also in Maszyna, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm fairly sure that if they will make any other routes, sooner or later they will have to model EN71 or EN57. One of them will definitely like show up. But again, there is still a lot of work to be done. Today I've read on the forums that they are actually planning to release all the signal boxes along both routes as a playable. So obviously, if the players will be able to work as a signaler on every single signal box, then that's a lot, chat. That is a lot. Okay, things are looking good, chat. For now, I managed to go through Chrząstowice. Is it? Oh, through Jaroszowiec, and I'm not being stopped here. We need dispatcher for single player. I don't think it will happen, honestly. I don't see it happening at all. First of all, your PC would have to run quite complex simulation on top of displaying graphics and all that stuff. And I'm not sure how this is handled in the game. Your PC would have to run pretty much full timetable, one way or another, so that it can simulate some sort of delays and such. And finally, servicing like only AIs. Just go into empty server. There are some servers that are pretty much constantly empty. Jump into a dispatch box on any of these and try and dispatch with AIs, and that's pretty much the same as dispatching in single player, honestly. Like if I want to use a signal box that is not available on any busy servers, I just go to a quiet server where there is absolutely empty. I can jump onto any signal box and just work as a dispatcher, pretty much similar to single player, because nobody drives there and nobody does anything on those servers, so it's only AIs. So why would I need option for dispatcher in single player to begin with, if I can make it on one of the public servers that has like 600 ping, and it makes absolutely no difference because it won't affect anyone. And this game doesn't really need a low ping. You can have a ping of 1000 milliseconds and you'll still be fine as a dispatcher. I think people always keep forgetting that this is not an online shooter. You don't have to have, let's say, ping in single digits. Right, now I'm approaching 70 km speed limit, and since the change in the speed would be very small, I'm gonna use cruise control to slow myself down. So what I did, I just lowered the threshold or the target speed for cruise control, and obviously the train decided to adjust it using electrodynamic brake, which is not the end, well, not the most correct use of cruise control. And definitely you don't want to use this method while driving a passenger train, because cruise control doesn't really realize that it's too harsh. But in the game, and for what we are using it, that was perfectly fine. And we just went through that speed limit section, and we can now slowly take to speed up back to 80. I wouldn't be so sure about 200 millisecond ping in a shooter, honestly. If you are not in double digits below 50, then you are not competitive in an online shooter. Right, chat. That's a perfect occasion to tell you about the worst thing about TRAXX locomotive in this game. Okay? And this is, I wouldn't say poor design choice, but this is an omission from the developers that they should probably fix. Yeah? It's called windscreen wipers. So the button is located right behind this switch. And here's the problem, yeah? Because there's no button to lean, and therefore I can't really click it. There's no way for me to click or change the switch for the wipers, and obviously there is no keyboard shortcut for it as well. So in order to change the wipers, if you don't use a device called track IR, which would allow you to lean and oops. Yeah, I've been too busy talking and I missed a speed limit, did I? There's probably like 14 here. Oh dear. There we go. We are not getting any penalties, so I believe it's gonna be 45. Yeah, 45 will do. There we go. Problem fixed. Right, where was I? Oh yes, so we need to turn on the windscreen wipers, but the problem is, the only way to do it without track IR is to stand up. And then you can see the wiper switch. Oh, and now we need to just try and turn it. Perfect. Problem solved. And now when I finally turned it on, it will stop raining. I'm telling you, chat, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen really soon. So that's, anyway, that is probably the worst thing in this locomotive. There we go. We can now fantastic. Now we can get back to normal speed and keep observing the road rather than try and mingle with windscreen wipers. Well, at least we can reach the washer, which is sticking out, so we can use the windscreen washer, but yeah, no chance to operate the wipers. It's also quite difficult to pick up wipers in EU07, although it is possible to do it without standing up. I think, yeah, TRAXX is probably the only locomotive that has this issue, where you can't really operate windscreen wipers until you stand up. So I look forward for the moment when developers will actually add the button to operate the wipers. That would really help. Okay, chat, I'm not quite sure what's the speed limit here now. That is a good question. I was so busy talking that I stopped watching on the signs. And now I'm not quite sure what's going to be the speed limit. Okay, we got some temporary speed limits. Ah, that's going to be 20. Oh dear lord. Right, so if we want to reduce the speed by quite substantial amount, obviously I would recommend using normal brakes. So just drop the brake pipe pressure by half a bar and then release the brakes, and by the time the brakes will release we should be below 20 kilometers per hour. If we want to speed the process up, we can use quick release. There we go, and that should help. We can now set the cruise control. There we go. Perfect. And now we just have to go past that speed limit that we are approaching. But looking at how far the actual speed limit is from the sign that we passed a while ago, I would say that the speed limit on this line is probably around 70 kilometers per hour. Maybe more, because I have a feeling that the speed limit applies on the railway crossing, which is still about 300 meters away. Well, we don't really have to worry about it too much, because we are roughly half an hour ahead of the schedule, so even if we make additional stops here and there because something happens, that's not a big deal. There we go. So there's 20 km per hour speed limit just on this railway crossing. Oh, and we don't have to wait for an entire train to pass it. Fantastic. Stuck at signal C1. I don't even know where the guy is stuck on. Oh, come on, they set it wrong. Right, so they put the signs. Okay, that needs reporting. So, basically, they put the signs to inform me there's a speed limit on that railway crossing. But the second sign said that effectively it applies only for the duration of the locomotive passing through it, and then you can just speed up. Well, unfortunately not, because what signs are saying and what reality is are two different things. So the game expects me to go through this railway crossing with my entire length of the train. This is gonna be annoying. Jimmy Chain, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. Come on, come on. Milepost 350. Oops. That's what I get when I try to type something and I accidentally, or I don't switch to chat. Right. There we go. Let's try and figure it out where the guy is. I won't be able to help him, but at least I will know where is he. Okay, so definitely the speed limit is higher than 50. Let's slowly increase it. Somewhere between Jarosławice, Olkuski and Wolbrum. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we are now approaching 40. Let's see. I don't think electrodynamic brake will be able to slow me down on time. Although we can try it. Okay, 50. Okay. Perfect. And yes, indeed, I am now being stopped because the train that was asking if I can unblock him is actually waiting for me to clear the tracks. So now he's gonna get a green signal so he can carry on. And I will be chilling for the next few minutes. Okay, we can let it coast. Oh, that was definitely a player. Let's have a look. Kim is 11 kilometers behind me and Sirius was the one who was stopped at this station. Okay, let's arm the brakes. I am on EN1 server. Okay, now we have to stop. Oh, come on. Oh, can I make it? Almost. Oh dear. Well, I made it. I made it, although I can't see the signal. Oh dear. Right. Now, we need to secure the train. So we will release the train brake. But I will apply the locomotive brake just to keep it in one place. Now we can stand up. Oh, I won't be opening the door, but can I somewhat see the signal? No, you can't crouch. Oh dear lord. Right. So I can use external camera, but just look how close did I stop. Oh dear lord. Well, I definitely need to practice a bit with this train. I still managed to stop in front of the semaphore effectively. But that's not exactly the best way to stop. Yeah, it's literally very, very close. If I will hop out. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty much the buffer length. Few more inches and the game would just stop me or push me back, and that would be embarrassing. But hey, I made it, chat. I made it. Right, since I'm gonna be chilling on this station for a while, I might go for a walk and leave my train unattended. I'm quite sure I need to wait for 42182. He's gonna have to arrive at this station, go past, and then I have to wait for him to clear another block. So I assume we got a solid 10-15 minutes wait here. So all that time we gained is now going to vanish. In fact, chat, you know what I can do? I can use that time to work out what is the length of my train. And I can also... I'm not sure if I can work out what is the weight of my train. This will be quite difficult. Can't remember which markings were for what. Blah blah blah. Got this 9 meters. No. Okay, I believe the total length of this wagon is 14.4. 40 meters and 4 centimeters. Which would make sense, but is that... Wow, that was close. Is that unladen weight? I believe that's empty wagon's weight, so that will be 20 tons. Yeah, that would actually make sense. It would be probably around 20 tons. The locomotive is 46 tons. So it's not the heaviest one. Ooh, this guy actually stopped a little bit too quick. He panicked. I can tell you that. Right, what is the length? 18.9 meters. Is it that long? Okay, might be. Yeah, buffer to buffer will be 18.9, which makes sense. So we got 18.9 plus, let me just work it out. That was 1404. Times the number of wagons, and I don't know how many wagons we got. That is a good question. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9. Okay, so that's 10. That's 20. That's 30. Okay, 32 cars. That's not too bad. So we got 32 cars. Okay, so let me just do a quick math on my trusty calculator. Where is that? Let me just quickly start it. I'm just too lazy to do that math on the piece of paper. So let's do it. 1404 times 32 plus 0.9. Okay, 468 meters. Well, yeah, we can count it 468 meters. So that's the length of our train. Just in case anyone needs it in the future. And the total mass would be 686 tons. Not too bad. Yeah, that would make sense. That would actually make sense. So it's not the heaviest train. Obviously, it's not loaded with the coal. So it was quite easy to work out. It would be much more difficult if I would have to count the mass, including load, which would be probably coal, because then you have what, 72 cubic centimeters. Times density of the coal, and that would probably give me a mass of the load plus mass of the wagon, and blah blah blah, and this way I can try and work out what should be the mass of the train roughly. But yeah, let's not go too deep into that. We are not here for a math lesson. There we go. Are there any things that we can move on these wagons? No, we can't really touch anything, is it? Yeah. I believe they now disabled the ability to disconnect the wagons as well, so... wait, can I... Oops. Okay. Screw coupler. No. Yeah, I don't think I can. Does anyone know how to decouple the wagons? I don't think we can actually do that. Yeah, I can't really disconnect my own train. Oh dear, that's sad. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future, chat. Check delete. Nope, that's not the button for it. Yeah, I can't also disconnect others' wagons. They could lower the rain sound. I mean, balancing the sounds, yeah, that's probably something they keep for some sort of other day. They might in fact do it and rebalance some of the sounds. There we go. I now know there's gonna be a train passing through this track. The route is already set. And then both of us will be able to move. So yeah, Muta, I agree they can rebalance some of the sounds. So environmental sound seems to be quite too loud, while at the same time what is that? At the same time, what was I? Train sounds sometimes feel like too low, sometimes too high. Oh, this is weird. Chat, I think we have a problem here. That deserves a screenshot, isn't it? So that is Volbrom, is it? Yeah, that is Volbrom. I definitely need to report that on the forums. Yeah. Okay, that's Kim and his train. Okay, and now this guy is moving, blue coal. Let's see if I can walk upstairs. Well, it's nice to see that those situations happen in this game, that there are two freight trains stopped on the same station, and then there's one train that needs to pass to clear out the jam. It's really nice to see it, honestly. And, well, the sad part is that this station doesn't have a human dispatcher. I would really love to see, like, human dispatchers, but if you've been listening to what I've said before today, I found it out on the forums. One of the developers mentioned that their goal is to make all the signal boxes playable, so everything on the main line will be playable and everything on this line will be playable. Yesterday my radio in the cabin disappeared. Yes, that's an issue with ET25. It was confirmed to be fixed in the next patch that will be released hopefully tomorrow. So there's going to be a patch. I've already seen some of the patch notes, and there are a lot of fixes. They really put a lot of work into it. So hopefully many of the issues that we can see today will be fixed. Not all of them, obviously. There's like too many issues with many things that just don't work. But there's gonna be some fixes. And I think if you look through the forums, they also confirmed which is gonna be the next signal box that will be added. And it's gonna be one of the Dąbrowa Górnicza stations. I think, yeah, I think it was one of the Dąbrowa Górniczas. Because there's apparently like 3 or 4 stations in the game, so I'm not even gonna try to guess which one is it, because I can't honestly remember it. But it's somewhere on the forums, so you can check it out. And then they plan to add a new signal box every 2 weeks. So no, it's not going to be Ząbkowice, that's the thing. I think it's Dąbrowa Górnicza on this route, and I can't remember. I think it's called Zachód or whatever. It has like fancy name. So that's going to be one of them. But sadly no Ząbkowice yet. And they could actually add visual rain when you are on the ground, because like I've been walking here for a while now, but I can't really... Oh, okay, the raindrops seems to be loaded and unloaded with the grass. So when I look at the grass, I can see the raindrops every now and then. Not too frequent compared to the sound. But when I look up, the grass disappears. And... oh, okay, the raindrops are still here. Yeah, they definitely need to fix that. I like walking in the rain. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's not too bad sometimes. If it's a warm day, it's really nice to walk in the rain, but if it's a cold day, oh no, getting out of the house for a short walk, even if it's not raining, it's a massive like an achievement for me. Oh. Okay, that's an interesting track. And oh, that's definitely not something that should be happening. Let me just make some interesting photo. There we go, we got another report to make. You shouldn't have a lamppost so close to the track that it's basically colliding with the sleepers. There is a minimum distance at which things should be from the tracks. Even if those tracks are, well, even if those tracks won't be used anytime soon by the players, it's worth fixing just in case there will be diesel locomotives added in the game at any point. Because then it will be possible for players to actually drive on these tracks. And what then? You don't want to collide with the lamppost, is it? Obviously it won't probably end up being on top of the priority list for the developers to fix. But it's worth to catch such elements. Perhaps someone will spend that 30 seconds to move that lamppost. Right, I think the light is still red. Yeah, it is still red. I wonder if I would... can I... Wait, that was chat. There we go. I can help myself by turning this on, and if the light change, I will actually know that the light changed. I will run over this lamp with my SM42. If they will ever add one. Woo! That, Jesus Christ, that scared me a lot. You can't die in this game, but I was very careless on the tracks. Oh, that was a nice jump scare. Like, I hate E186. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. It's so quiet that I just heard that silent hum. Turned around just to see a train 20 meters away from me, and that was the scariest stuff ever, honestly. Oh dear lord. Even if it's only a game, it's still scary. Funny how both of these cars have the same registration plate. Chat, I think we have just discovered some illegal business here, you know. I think these guys are swapping number plates. Yeah, we should probably report them, you know. Right, some dodgy places around here. Big pipes. Can I? Okay, I can't walk through them. That's too bad. Ooh, looks like these pipes were laying here for so long that they managed to just sink in the ground. K150. That's an interesting number plate. translated from Polish, it says K1 fast. I don't think this will be fasting. Unless it falls off the cliff. Then that might gain some speed. We got hanging... what is that? We got some floating chimney. Let me just make another screenshot. And perhaps I shall take even more. There's another floating chimney. Clearly there was supposed to be something. So that's already like 3 or 4 reports that I need to send after the stream. If I won't forget, knowing me I will, but hey. Oh wow, that's another car with exactly the same number plate. Ooh, that is a really shady business, chat. Really shady business. There's more. Everyone is using the same number plate. Oh dear lord, I'm telling you, chat. There's some proper drug trade in here. Oh, this one doesn't even have number plates anymore. Yeah, I think this is like a mafia boss, so he doesn't need number plates. Okay, these guys also don't have number plates. Maybe these are like some special government-owned cars. That's a nice car. Proper Nissan Skyline, is it? Or... I'm not sure anymore. I'm terrible at cars, honestly. Pruszków Mafia. They are in kind of wrong place, though. It's Volbrom. It's a tiny town at the middle of nowhere. Oh, there we go. 81 TC. Oh, that's a nice classic car. BMW, proper one. Yeah, a Swiss version of BMW. That's Fiat Punto, is it? Yeah, proper one. More BMWs. Okay, okay. Right, chat, as I said before, yeah, we are going to lose all that extra time that we gained. It's not going to happen. We're not gonna keep our advantage that we worked so hard to get. More BMWs. Okay. Some sort of grain storage, is it? Or sand storage, or gravel storage, whatever. Modern housing, chat. Like you get that massive big window in each room. See? So someone's even in. But those are those fancy windows. There we go, 2 hidden BMWs, both of them on the same number plates. Chat, this is a proper mafia land, I'm telling you. There are some shady businesses going here. Seems like it will be Dąbrowa Górnicza Wschodnia. So, I'm not complaining. It's gonna be nice to see some more dispatch boxes on Katowice-Sędziszów route. I would love to see more and more and more of them to be released. Especially that we are more likely to see mechanical signal boxes. You won't find them on the main route, obviously, but one of the biggest, like, well, one of the first elements you can see in initial trailer for SimRail that was released like 2-3 years ago already was switching in a mechanical signal box, and obviously 3 years from then, when the game actually released in early access, there's no sign of mechanical signal boxes. All of them are either electronic or electric, and it is a bit of a disappointment. Oh, okay, probably that's as far as the game will let me go. So I have to go in different direction. There we go. Right, chat. A short lesson about signs and signals. So this tiny post has its own meaning. So basically what that means, that is the furthest point that can be occupied on this track. If you go any further, you're gonna block this junction. And you should find similar posts near every single junction. There we go. So again, you're gonna stop your train. That's as far as you can be. If you go any further past that post, it is very likely that the train moving along this junction will just scratch you. Oh, sadly these are non-movable. And we can't go any further. Hope they fixed grass bug. I'm not sure if it's fixed in the next patch that's gonna be released tomorrow, I believe. I don't think we will see that. Go, very old platform. I'm surprised that people are still waiting here. Although, there's a catenary here, so technically E186 could have a final stop here. But looking at the tracks, those weren't used in years. Okay, that's not the best designed crossing, isn't it, chat? Well, in the past it was probably a crossing. Right now everyone can cross using this passage or staircase. All in all, this is very nicely done station. Providing that players are just passing through it, the amazing level of details is probably not quite needed. Although it would be nice to see some some better level of details in here and there. And it would be nice to see that there are like more clouds in the sky, and that everything is a bit more gloomy during the rain. Because right now it feels like it's it's one of those summer rains, yeah. So technically, yes, you can see weather like that, where you got, well, the skies are not entirely clear, but you don't really see much clouds, and you got light rain. But the puddles are quite big for a light rain, to be honest, and it's raining for like ages now. It's been literally raining for at least an hour now. Right, chat, that's all the scenery I could have shown you, I believe. I can try and go further to the front of my locomotive, probably, and that would let me discover a little bit more. Let's try this. Okay, so as we are waiting, I have better idea. Chat, let's play a little bit with the locomotive, since there are a few things that I haven't really explained to all of you. So, did you know that you can actually interact with this screen? And there are a few options that you can change. First of all, you can switch it between day and night mode, so you got this nice dark background that you can set. And you can also go into operating menu or settings menu of this locomotive, and you can actually change few things. Not all of them will work now. Some of them you can just change in this menu, but they will have no effect on the locomotive. I believe the first option, which is train lights, you can turn them on or off. So right now I just turned off the lights. Let's have a look if that actually works. No, that doesn't work. Oh, that is a shame. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. I'm not sure about the second option. I still can't crack what it is actually going to do. Third option will let you select the pantograph. So right now it's set to automatic, but I can select, let's say, pantograph 1 and 2. And now if I will press raise the pantograph, there we go, both of them are up. In fact, I don't think I have to select the raise pantograph. I think it will happen automatically after a few seconds. Let's see. If I will now stay on pantograph 1, let's see if it will update itself automatically. Okay, maybe it's not updating itself automatically. Yeah, most likely not. So I probably have to use raise pantograph, and now, yeah, okay. And now I'm only on front pantograph. Perfect. And now I can go back to pantograph 1 and 2. If you want to switch the pantograph from front to the rear, always go through option to raise both of them and then lower the one that you don't need. If I would just select now pantograph 2 while I'm on pantograph 1, what will happen when I raise it is that, oh, okay, they might have updated that, or, well, that's weird. That one was supposed to drop. Oh, did I broke it? I think I broke it, chat. So last time when I played with it, when I selected the opposite pantograph while having only one of them, it first lowered the old pantograph and then raised the new one, which is kind of like bad way to do it. Because for that few seconds you don't have any power going into locomotive, then, which means you have to restart it. And come back quick. Am I planning to do any dispatcher streams on SimRail? If there's gonna be any interesting dispatch boxes, then absolutely yes. But I want to wait for some more of these to be released, because right now most of the dispatch or signal boxes that I can catch effectively are boring. That would be content for like 15-20 minutes. I did some streams in the past from Łazy, and that was fun. I believe I had a stream from Sosnowiec Główny, so you can check those out. But that's pretty much it. So when developers will release some more signal boxes, perhaps along this route, I will try and jump into signal box and do some dispatching. But at this point, I don't really see the need to jump into dispatch box. Besides, you probably wouldn't like to watch me doing signaling on Pilichowice or Knapówka or whatever, because like literally these signal boxes are so exciting as watching paint dry. So I'll be honest with you, there are like 3 or 4 trains per hour, and that's it. Right, chat, we finally got our signal. We know that the first signal will limit us to 40 kilometers per hour. Let's double check everything. Let's make sure that we have the right pantograph. Yes, we have. Okay. Let's double check everything. Right, so before we go, we also can turn off the compressor. We can change the setting of our air brakes between P, G and R. R will be used for passenger trains and fast passenger trains, but obviously you won't find this locomotive pulling any of those services in Poland. And there are modes P and G, and they are used with freight trains, although the most commonly used will be G setting for heavier trains. Obviously with our train we could probably get away with mode P. ASJ is gonna be electrodynamic brake, I believe, was it? No, ASJ was cruise control, so we can turn it on or off, so we can actually turn it on. And there is a mode of electro pneumatic brake, and there are different modes that you can pick up from, but I don't think it will work. Right, let's get on the move. Let's release the brakes. Oh, okay, the bot took over. AFD, yeah. So that's cruise control. There we go. Yeah, I need to go, otherwise the game would like slam me for idling. Obviously we had green light in front of us and I wasn't moving. Right, so that's pretty much it for this screen. We don't really need to change anything when you start the locomotive, but just for your own knowledge, there are some options that you can play with and see what will happen. Sadly, you can't turn off the lights yet, and I think developers mentioned at some point that they will fix it. Right, so let's count it if we were good on maths. So that was 100, that is gonna be 200 meters. That's gonna be 300 meters, and our train is supposed to be 468. We are approaching 40, so I'm not gonna change the speed. That's 400 meters. And that is supposed to be 500. So technically, from this point, I should be able to speed up. But I won't be doing that because I'm approaching 40 km/h speed limit, and that is exactly how fast I'm moving. So there's no need for me to actually speed up any further. Right, chat, so how is this going to change? I'm saying we're gonna arrive at the next post having about 5 minutes delay. What do you guys think? Chat, place your bets on the chat. I might think about small prize, like saying a good job, for example. Right, so that was 40. Okay, and now we should be able to speed up again. Plus 20. Minus 3 minutes. Okay, okay, we got some good bets. We got some good bets, chat. We got some good bets, yeah. Okay, 20 minutes delay. Wow, that's gonna be a lot. No. I don't think we've been sitting here for so long, but I'm fairly sure, yeah, we're gonna go into a delay at least 5 minutes, in my opinion. But I'm saying 5. Combat Quick says 3. Railjet says 20. That's a lot. That's a lot. Come on, chat. You win nothing but a pride, but you can just place your bets. Place your bets, chat. We need more votes. And we are still going. We are still going, chat. Or perhaps someone will say that we are still ahead of schedule. Oh wait, Railjet said plus 20, okay, so that's 20 minutes delay. And Combat Quick said -3, so 3 minutes ahead. Tomek is saying right on time, okay, right on time. That's interesting. No, I think it's gonna be +5, chat, +5. Anyone else? Come on, chat. Be active. Perhaps someone on YouTube wants to place their guess. There we go, chat. +18. Railjet was the closest one. We are 18 minutes past the schedule. Wow. Congratulations, Railjet. You win nothing but a pride, but you were the closest one. Oh, chat, I'm actually surprised. So, we've been actually sitting at Volbrum for 40 minutes. That's a lot. That's a long time. And perhaps it would be wise to drop down. Wait. I think that was 50. Come on, slow down. Okay, I've overdone it now. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ah, okay, the sign was saying 70. Oh dear lord. Okay, ooh, I panicked a little bit. Okay, 70 it is. You start to need glasses, yes, probably. Well, you know, Railjet, I'm not getting any younger. And sadly, one thing that is pretty bad in SimRail is the render distance of a small object. So when I have to read what's exactly on the number plates, like mileposts and stuff, it literally pops up very close to the cabin. Like I have to be maybe 25 meters away from the post, so I could barely see that this sign was saying 30. And there's also slight distortion coming from like a raindrops on the glass, which also doesn't help. Ah, there we go. I was still a little bit too quick. How fast am I? Yeah, I'm doing 34 on a 30. Oh dear lord. Come on. Okay. Marius too, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today. Okay, we should now be able to go all the way to 70. Or maybe not, because we are approaching another speed limit, and that is also 30. Oh dear lord, you cheeky bastard. I don't think I'm gonna be able to slow down using electrodynamic brake from 50 to 30. And yes, I am using cruise control. Okay, for a change I might actually make it. I don't think I was going quick enough for the train to not make it to slow down. And it's all because of that tiny section that I'm just entering. I know, but that automatic slowdown is not too effective. So whenever you are using cruise control, you have to bear in mind by how much you need to slow down. Obviously, if the change is small, like 10, maybe 20 kilometers an hour, then yes, it might be possible for you to just slow down before the speed limit kicks in. But obviously, cruise control is not an ultimate solution, because if I would be traveling at 80 kilometers per hour and I would have to slow down to, let's say, 20 or 30, there's no chance that cruise control can sort it out for me. Because cruise control uses electrodynamic brake to slow down the train. So there's no way electrodynamic brake will be quick enough. And then you need to use train brake, obviously, to make it on time. It is also different from what you would do in Germany, because then you have PZB, and cruise control still is not quick enough to always slow you down to the right speed, and you still need to use a train brake and like work with PZB as well, because you got certain amount of time to actually slow down. Okay, so that was Harsnica, and we are approaching 50. I wonder, I was doing 70, can I slow down to 50 in time using cruise control? That might be tricky. Did I try it? Yes, I tried that many times. And I'm 100% sure that cruise control is not going to solve all my problems. Okay, there's gonna be 2 speed limits to 50. That's one of them. And then there's gonna be another one. Oh dear lord. So I might as well stick to 50 at this point. Okay, so that's the second speed limit. And there's gonna be a third one. And that's the third one. And now you can go back to 70. Unless there's going to be another speed limit. Ah, there is another speed limit, and that's gonna be 40. So from 70 to 40, let's have a look. Okay, we are doing 55 roughly. Still at 50. Okay, I'm kind of surprised, chat. I'm surprised. We actually made it, but that was only 30 km/h difference. I tried it once. In, I believe, single player scenario. It wasn't too bad, but I'm not fan of driving it. Okay, we can now speed up to 60, because that's going to be the next speed limit. Now we are approaching tunnel, which is literally a tunnel. And the speed limit goes down to 40. So again, I can slow down. And the route speed limit is 60. Okay, we got 300 meters to the signal. That's the signal. The speed limit is 60. Oh dear lord. Okay, so I can smash it. Still 14 minutes late. Right, chat. What is going to be a delay when we reach the end of the route? You win nothing but a pride, but you can try and guess it. I think we're gonna bring it down to 10 minutes. What do you think, chat? I think I can actually do it. Like, bring it down to 10 minutes. There we go. That is tunnel station. Okay, if I haven't missed any signs, we should be able to travel at 80. Definitely they need to fix the lighting in the tunnel, because that looks really, really bad. There we go, another crossing. Yeah, they also need to lower the volume of railway crossings. Like, we shouldn't be able to hear those bells. But yet, here we are. Okay, there we go. We got green signal. Just to make sure we are below the speed limit. Especially that we are going downhill, so... Oh, okay, chat, we will have to stop in here. Let's let it coast. And let's use the brakes to stop the train. Okay, chat, so I guess my dreams of being only 10 minutes late are gone now. I'm not gonna make it. Not a chance if I have to stop here. Oh, never mind, chat. There is a light in the tunnel. It's called substitute signal. And that's exactly what we got. There we go. We can now apply some power. Almost. Okay, we can now go back to 80. Right, chat, you can still place your bets. You win nothing but a pride, but you can try and judge or guess what is gonna be my delay when we arrive at Sędziszów, which is the last point of our journey. After Sędziszów, the game will stop. So we still got 2 more stations to go, about 3 minutes of ride. So place your guesses in the chat. I'm saying we will drop it down to 10 minutes. But I am very optimistic. Current delay is 14. No one. No one is trying to guess. Come on, chat. The time is running out. Okay, we got Tomek with 11 minutes delay. Oh dear lord. That is a bug that they need to fix. Yeah, indeed, indeed. I just literally smashed through that car. Okay, okay, it doesn't look good, chat. It doesn't look good. We are actually getting more and more late. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, definitely I won't be able to reach my goal of 10 minutes delay. We are at 16 and it doesn't seem like we are reducing that. At least not by much. It's 7:29 and we are just approaching Gniewecin. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. The delay will remain at 16 minutes. Oh, there we go. It's 14. Faster, faster. I don't think I'm gonna make it, Tomek. There's no way, no way. No. It's already Sędziszów. Raliev, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream and thank you very much. My goodness me. You've been a crew member for 15 months now. Wow. Wow, absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for all that support. Okay, chat, I think it's not raining anymore. So let me just quickly use the washer to clean the windshield. Now I can turn the wipers off. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, still 14 minutes. I don't think we are going to reduce that anymore. Yeah, I think the scenario is going to end somewhere soon. It should be like in just a couple of meters or whatever. Because we are now, yeah, there we go. So Senjishov was 13 minutes ahead of, well, 13 minutes behind the schedule, effectively, according to the game. So let's leave it like that. Chat, that was 80 kilometers. Well, almost 81 kilometers. It took us 2 hours, 22 minutes and 16 seconds. And just to be clear, that was not an entirely full route between Sędziszów and Katowice. We took over the train around Dorota and Dąbrowa Górnicza Wschodnia. And that was not the beginning of this scenario, because this train starts at Kavukastashic, which is exactly the place which you can see when you start E186 tutorial, because that is exactly the place where this train starts. So that was extra, like 4 or 5 kilometers, maybe more. There are some rough speed limits in this area, but yeah, that's where this train started. Let's have a look. Right, we had just a few minor offenses on the route, so let me just it's that nice thing that you can do with this graph, and you can narrow it down. It's come on, you. There we go. And this way you can just look at it in more detail. Sadly, oh dear lord, yeah, there is a massive lag with this one. So there was a section of 20 where I went for 31, so I started to speed up a little bit too soon, I believe. Oh no, that's where I actually took over, because I let AI to drive for the first few minutes. Is it? No, that's where I took over. There we go. I failed to spot that speed limit, so it was somewhere around here. So those are results of AI, I believe. Is it? Maybe? I don't know. No. I must have took over somewhere here, because AI is not missing any warning signals. Okay, so that must have been somewhere around here anyway. Yeah. Okay, that line is too perfect. That was AI. That was AI. That was AI. And that's where I took over. Okay, I slowed down to 70 to 43. Then I went up to 71 briefly. Okay, and then I did some silly things. Okay, yeah, so that was the point roughly where I took over. You can just see where AI was driving when the line is exactly at the speed limit, like perfect line. Even I couldn't get that. See, even with cruise control you can't get that perfect line. It's always gonna go up and down. Right, let's go back to the menu. There we go. Whew. Right, chat. That was brilliant. Thank you very much for joining me today. I might come back tomorrow. No promises. I might come back for some more if I will find some extra time. It's gonna be Saturday and I don't really have much plans. So who knows, maybe tomorrow I will hop in for a quick round of SimRail. So stay tuned. If not, I will probably see you somewhere next week. Yeah, I think I will still be able to stream next week. But then I might need to take some break because I will be moving houses, and obviously I might not be able to stream anything because I won't have internet. So that will definitely slow me down a bit. It's gonna take some time before I will be able to connect the internet in the new place. Or it might take a while. Depends on internet service providers, how quickly they can deliver me new equipment and get me going. So that might take a few weeks or a few days. So yes, next week it might be the last stream in a while, and then yeah, I'll be definitely back at some point and with more SimRail and hopefully more Train Driver and other fancy train games. So stay tuned, chat, and obviously share, like, subscribe the videos and streams. And obviously, if you really like my content and if you are watching me on YouTube, you can press that join button and become a crew member. The details of the offer will be displayed when you press the button. As for current members, I know I forgot. I wasn't able to send the channel updates for a while, but I will try and send one by the end of this month so that we can start over with a fresh new year. So stay tuned for that. It will pop up somewhere on YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.